So I finally cracked open an unshrinked 1759 Siege of Quebec. If you've been following the channel, you know I have the original one. This is the second edition, and I had this shrink wrapped for a while. So I unshrinked it, different map, right? We have our order attaché here, our French field order book, where we're going to be placing our orders to fight this battle. We're going to be playing the French against the British. You could do it the other way if you want as well. But there you have it, 1759 Siege of Quebec. I did notice a couple of changes. If you look here in the morale track, everything is even, right? The British on the left side there, and the French here, and they have the same amount. In the old map, which is it's a very nice map actually. I kind of like the aged first edition map. But anyway, if you notice here, you notice that the British have more spaces, right? So it's slower. The British lose morale slower than the French, as you can see there. Because once the French hit 7 here, it goes pretty fast. And yet, if you notice that. But in this second edition, they are equal. So I did notice that. And the other difference, obviously I mentioned the map, but the other difference is these guns here. You have British guns and French guns. So if we lose those, we also lose morale, right? Because every time we lose a unit, we lose morale. I have to be careful because in the old map, which I'm used to playing, the French is on the left side and the British is on the right side. And this version, it's reversed. So the French is white, the British are red, obviously, and then the Indians are green, which I thought was cool to make them green, because in the first edition, they're blue, just like the French. I kind of like the blue counters, to be honest, but, this looks very clean. It looks very nice. We have a different design on the cards, but pretty much the cards are the same. Except, there's some, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if there's reference to these guns in these cards or just in the field order book. But let me give this a quick shuffle. I'm going to give it a good shuffle because this is the first time I'm playing this. I just literally unshrinked it. And good quality cards as usual, they're linen, they're kind of thick. Now, if anybody has, because I figured, look, I like playing this game, right? So I thought I would sleeve these because of the shuffling. Let me shuffle some more. I think that's pretty good. I thought about sleeving these, but let me show you something. I thought these were the right size, but it looks like these Worthington game, I mean, look at that. There's so much space left. So do you know what size sleeves these cards take? I mean, I don't have to sleeve them, because I'll just shuffle carefully, but look at this. I thought that was the right size, and apparently it isn't. So, one more shuffle for good measure. We want this to be a good battle. Yeah, this second edition is very clean. In the rule book, just like in the other rule book, it gives you a solitaire card deck size, right? So if you're playing the French, Wait, British solitaire opponent skill. This is where we go. Strong would be 27 cards. I think there's 33. I'll count them real quick because in the original version there were 33 cards. I usually go with good, which is 24 cards, and I add one. So I usually play with 25 cards. Let me check real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So 33 cards, it's still the same. Let's do 25, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We will not be playing with these. It's possible that they may come in, actually, but I'll leave those there. So, I'll be using this marker here, but basically, we have our book of orders. We can skirmish. We can conduct Indian raids. We can hold. We can attack Lower Quebec. We have aggressive actions, right? I might try to be aggressive here. I tend to not use these very much because they are used in combination with the original order, and it's possible that it just becomes very bloody. We can move troops, right, if we notice that there's particular empty spots. Attacking, order number 6 here, attacking British at Abraham, is primarily when the British get here into Abraham. Because otherwise we have nothing to attack, right? We're supposed to attack British at Abraham if they're not there. And then we can attack Upper Quebec. No, I take that back. This is Upper Quebec here. Lower Quebec would be there. So anyway, that's our order book. I'm going to leave it here. And what should we start with? Let's start with a good old-fashioned skirmish. Militia desert. This is not good. We start the game having to roll here. Roll one die. On a 4 to 6, remove one of your troop markers from an area of your choice except Indians area. And then there's some flavored text down here, which is nice. When I play by myself, not, in other words, not videotaping here. I read those. As the siege continued through the summer, Quebec militia deserted to tend crops and take care of farms and families. So, I got to roll. Let's see what happens. I rolled a 3. So that's good. Nothing happens. So we discard this. And the objective here is to get through that deck. If we get through that deck and the British have not come into Abraham here and taken over Quebec, which is how we lose, then the river here freezes over, weather conditions, and the British leave, right? So we have to survive the 25 cards in the deck. Also, if the British lose morale, okay, then we win. Or if the French lose morale, we lose. So 2 ways to win, 2 ways to lose. I'm going to continue with the skirmish here. Yeah, I'm going to continue with the skirmish. Wolf lands at Abraham. At least 2 ships must be in the upper St. Lawrence. Otherwise, ignore the card action. Wait a minute. I already made a mistake. I didn't roll. I started yapping and I didn't roll. Defend Upper Quebec. B, we did a skirmish. We have to roll for that on the chart. Okay, so the British are defending Upper Quebec. from our skirmish, and that is a 5, which is on the B. A 5. This is hard. I'm standing up. It's hard to see from here. That is 1 British loss, and the British losses here are taking from areas of my choice. I'm going to take it from levy here, which means the British lose a morale. I completely forgot to do that. I guess because I had to roll, I figured that was the move, right? And then we continued with the skirmish. We got this card. We ignore the card action because there are no ships in Upper St. Lawrence. And we did our skirmish, and they counterattacked. So let's see what happens. Oh, boy. I keep missing the dice tower. Here we go. A 6 on C. That is 2 British losses. And again, 2 British losses from anywhere I'd like. Those are the British reserves there. I'm going to take them from levy here. I'll take both of them from levy. So 2 more. 1, 2. Now, I suspect, well, I don't suspect, it's obvious, right? In the old map, there were more spaces in the British morale chart there. I'm assuming it'll be easier to beat the British by reducing their morale because there are just less spaces. So far, so good. We've been rolling okay. We've been doing okay with these skirmishes. You know what? I'm going to stay with the skirmish. Supplies cut. At least 1 British ship must be in the Upper St. Lawrence. Otherwise, ignore action. There are no ships in Upper St. Lawrence, so we're going to ignore the action. And we continue with our skirmishes. And now we're confronted with the Rangers. And I keep missing this dice tower. We're confronting the Rangers in D at 2. That is 2 French losses. And French losses are taken from the North and South Shore Village in the skirmishes here. So I'll take it from South Shore. We reduce 1 morale because they're Rangers. I think the other difference, too, is that the font, maybe it could just be my eyes today, but I think the font's a little smaller on these cards in the 2nd edition. Okay, so we've done 3 skirmishes. This last one didn't result too well for us, so I think we're going to change. We're going to go ahead and do an Indian raid. The Indian raid here. Let's see. It's hard for me to read this. Any troop losses are taken from Indian areas for the French and reserve for the British. Most of the time, though, it's going to be a reduced morale for the British, right, doing an Indian raid. So let's go ahead and do an Indian raid. Militia morale, here we go. Reduce morale equal to the vacant troop spaces in the North Shore Villages area. The North Shore Villages area has no reductions, so we have no problems there, thankfully. Maybe a couple of these cards changed, I don't know, on the 2nd edition. I'm not sure, but they're going to defend Lower Quebec because we are doing our Indian raids, and that's going to be on A5. Right there, -1 morale for the British. Yeah, definitely easier to reduce morale here because there's just less spaces there than on the 1st edition. The Indian raids worked out well. Let's see. I don't need to... I'm going to attack Lower Quebec over here. Lower Quebec would be in that area there. Yeah, let's do that. Montreal supplies. Proceed with the order as issued, or cancel the order and send for supplies for Montreal by rolling one die and applying the results below. Yeah, definitely the font is smaller on these cards. I don't know why. Let's see. 1 to 2, supplies destroyed, reduce French morale by 2. If I roll a 3, supplies captured, reduce French morale by 2 and increase British morale by 2. And 4, 5, and 6, supplies reach Quebec, increase French morale by 2. Well, we're almost all the way up there, right? I don't see the need in risking this. It's basically a 50-50. So we're going to continue attacking Lower Quebec and encountering the Rangers. British Rangers. On D2, that is 1 French loss. And our losses come from Beauport. Okay. For the French, it would come from Montmorency, right there. But we lose in Beauport. So we reduce our morale. I didn't like that, so I'm gonna continue and attack Lower Quebec. The Indians leave. Remove 1 troop marker from Indians area, if any there. Yeah, we have all our Indians, but some of them decided to go. Again, we encounter the Rangers there. On a 3, and that is D. That is 1 French loss. 1 French loss, and it comes from Beauport. That's not good. The British have slightly lower morale than we do at this point. Let's attack Upper Quebec, and our losses would come from South Shore villages and Cap Rouge, where we're going to attack here in Upper Quebec. Let's see what happens. Wolf lands at Abraham. At least 2 ships must be in Upper St. Lawrence, otherwise ignore the card action. We've encountered a counterattack. Counterattack on C. That is not good. That is one French loss. I'm going to take it from Cap Rouge. Wow. We were doing okay when we started. I'm going to do another skirmish. Guns of Quebec, proceed with order as issued, or cancel the order issued and engage with the Guns of Quebec. If engaging with the Guns of Quebec, roll 1 die and use results below. 1, 2, and 3 reduce French morale by 2. If I roll a 4, it's reduce French morale by 1. And a 5 and 6, move 1 British ship to safe anchorage. It's risky. I mean, it is risky. I mean, if I'm going to do this, I would do it now. But I need to roll a 5 or 6. I don't want to do it when our morale is too low. It would be nice to put one of their ships in safe anchorage, though, I'll tell you that. But you know what? I'm going to proceed with the ordered as issue. These are the kind of decisions you have to make here. As the commander, that's what I choose to do. So, as we conduct our skirmish, They conduct a counterattack. 4 on C. No effect. No effect. I'm going to go back to Upper Quebec here. Let's do that. Poor command coordination. Your move troops order cannot be played this turn. We didn't move troops, so we're good. So as we're fighting here in Upper Quebec, they decide to defend Lower Quebec. So let's see what happens. So we got to roll. We rolled a 6 on A. That is 2 British losses. And the British losses are taken from levy. So that's pretty good for us. They lost 2 units here. And 1, 2. Morale. I like what we did there. I'm going to do an Indian raid. Guns of Quebec, again, proceed with the order as issued or... Yeah. It's too risky. I mean, we're going to end up losing morale trying to get... I mean, that's the risk, right? We may lose morale trying to get a ship into safe anchorage. I mean, this is really useful if we can get 2 ships into safe anchorage, right? If I had used this card when it came up before, because all they really need is at least 2 ships here to start engaging in Abraham. So I'm going to proceed with the order as issued. Okay? And that is an Indian raid. They are defending Lower Quebec. They seem to be, a 6. That's good for us. A 6 on A. That's -2 morale for the British. So, you know what? Let's continue. Let's continue with an Indian raid. Aggressive raid skirmish. Okay. Proceed with the order as issued or proceed with the order as an aggressive raid skirmish if a raid or skirmish order was issued, and we had a raid issued here, and any troop or morale losses by either side are doubled. Now, remember I mentioned we have aggressive commander actions here. We have 2 that we can use in the game on this side, and then we have fire ship actions, and there's 2 we could use here. So only 2 aggressive actions here and only 2 fire ship actions, which, like I said earlier, is combined with whatever any other order result you get. Here, I don't need to mark an aggressive action because the card is giving me that option. So you know what? I'm going to take it. Okay? Any losses are going to be doubled. So let's go for it. We have to roll on C. A counterattack against the Indian raids. Here we go. A 4 on C. 4. That's 1 British morale, so it's doubled because it was aggressive, so they lost 2. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that it's definitely easier to bring the British morale down. I wonder why they made that change, because like I said, in the original map, like I showed you earlier, right? Up to here, it's the same. But then, let me see if I can, here. You see how there's more British, right? There's 1 French here, and yet you got 2 spaces for the British, so it was harder to reduce British morale. And now it's easier. You know what? I want to continue with the skirmish. British Navy departure. Roll one die and use results below. Let's do it. A 6. British Navy departs early. Remove 2 cards from the remaining draw deck. Oh. Wow, so that's good. British Navy departs early. Remove 2 cards from the remaining draw deck. That's good. So our cards here go from, I'm going to take it from the bottom, 2 of them. They go from 25 to 23. Nice. That definitely makes it easier for us. Now we're doing an Indian raid, and they are defending Upper Quebec. Let's see what happens. They're going on the defense. This is on the B. So 5 on B is -1 British morale. We almost got them down to nothing. I'm going to hold. We're going to hold. Command conflict. Cancel order issued for the turn or proceed with order at -1 modifier. Well, we're not that desperate, right? We're doing okay. We're not that desperate, so I'm going to cancel the order because that's 1 less card. There's no reason for me to go here with a -1. And we're going to continue to hold. General Levy departs from Niagara. If French morale is 8 or more, it is 8, right? Right now it is 8. Remove 3 troops. Oh no. If less than 8, but more than 4, remove 2 troops. If morale is 4 or less, remove 1 troop. Remove troops from the Beauport area. Wow. Now here's the question. I remove 3 troops. Do I guess if I remove 3 troops, I got to reduce 3 morale, right? Every time you remove troops. And they have to come from Beauport. So 3 are gone, and I reduce by 3. 1, 2, 3. We're still doing okay, but I need to move troops into Beauport there. I need to have, well, actually, the move troops is only if there's no troops there, right? Yeah, I don't need to move troops there yet because we could still do something with Beauport. We still have units there. Well, we have one unit. Wow, okay. That was rough. And we didn't even roll here. Hold on a second. We didn't even roll. Defend Upper Quebec. Wow. Or did we roll? I forgot because I'm talking. I don't think we rolled. So 3 on B is -1 French gun. So 1 French gun gone. And that reduces a morale. Wow. I'm going to continue to hold here. Guns of Quebec, proceed with the order as issued. And again, move a ship to safe. I'm assuming those cards are going to be coming up where ships start coming up to Upper St. Lawrence. But I'm going to proceed with the order as issued. We're holding. And that's on A. They're defending Lower Quebec. A 6 on A is 1 British loss. And their losses come from... Oh, any troop losses are taken from British and French locations of my choice. So there was 1 British loss. I'll take it from Montmorency. And their morale reduces. We're going to continue to hold. Militia Dessert, roll 1 die on a 4 to 6. And let's do this. Oh, we rolled a 6. Remove one of your troop markers from an area of your choice. So I'll remove it from the North Shore villages. Reduce morale by 1. And now we've encountered the Rangers. 3. That's 3 on D. I'm sorry. 3 on D is -1 French gun. So our guns here are gone. Okay. Wow. Let's do a skirmish. Wolf lands at Abraham. At least 2 ships must be in the upper St. Lawrence. So there are no ships in upper St. Lawrence. We've been very fortunate. So they're defending upper Quebec against our skirmish. So we roll 2 on B. That's 1 French loss. Taken from north and south shore villages. Okay, so we got what? What is that, a 2? On B is 1 French loss. All right. Wow, should I do a skirmish? No, I don't want to attack Upper Quebec. Well, I could attack Upper Quebec. I'm going to attack Upper Quebec. Poor command coordination. Your move troops order cannot be played. We didn't do that. So they are defending Upper Quebec. We're attacking Upper Quebec, and they're defending Upper Quebec. A 6, that's not good for them. A 6 on B. Actually, that's 1 and 1. So we lose 1, and they lose 1 in Levy. So they're almost down to 0 in morale. Yeah, B6. Let me look something up real quick in this second edition if there's anything different, but because to be quite honest with you, I just kind of flipped through this book real quick. How to win the game. The solitaire opponent counter orders card deck represents the passage of time during the campaign. When the last card is played, the campaign is over, right? The British Navy departs to avoid being iced in the St. Lawrence during the cold seasons. If the British have not won the game at this point, then it is a French victory. Okay, I already said that. So I knew that. The British win if French morale drops to 0 or a turn ends with Quebec spaces empty of troop markers and Abraham occupied with British troop markers. Okay. The French win if British morale drops to 0 or the solitaire opponent counter orders draw deck has no card. Okay, so it's the same. I was just double checking because they're almost down to 0. Okay, so we're going to attack Upper Quebec again. Move 1 ship from safe anchorage or lower St. Lawrence to an empty slot. Okay, so finally one of their ships came to Upper St. Lawrence, probably a little too late. A command mistake on the part of the British here for sure. We're attacking Upper Quebec, and again, they're defending Upper Quebec. A 6 on B again. 1 and 1. So again, we lose from south. They go from Levy, and the South Shore villages in Cap Rouge. So I'll take 1 from Cap Rouge. They lose 1 from Levy. They're down to 0, and we're down to 1. So it looks like the British have lost. Let's go 1 more turn just for fun. let's for fun. But the British lost. We won. The French held back the British, but let's just say, like I did in the other videos, it has to go beyond 0. So we're going to do a skirmish. Move one British ship from safe anchorage. Okay, so now this is where a little too late, okay, to come into the upper St. Lawrence here. They're defending lower Quebec against our skirmish. A 4 on A is 1 British loss from an area of my choice. So I'm going to take it from Orleans, the reserves. And of course, they have now gone beyond 0. So the French have won. 1759 Siege of Quebec, General Montcalm. In our French order book, our efforts paid off. Again, I do think with this second edition, because there is less. I'm going to show you this again, right? You had more British spaces here. It was harder in the first edition to get the British morale down. But here, they're equal. And even though it was close, we rolled pretty well, too. And of course, you know, the commander's decisions were, you know, just perfect. The British lost morale. And even though they tried to get up here in the upper St. Lawrence, it was a little too late. By that point, the British just didn't want to fight anymore. So there you have it. The finally unshrinked my 1759 Siege of Quebec second edition from the Great Sieges series by Worthington. This is it's a cool game. I really enjoy it.